Hi, everybody. Welcome to Philosophy 101, Intro to Philosophy. My name is Shade. I'm a PhD graduate student here at ASU. I also have a master's in philosophy from Colorado State University, and I'm going to be your instructor for this course. So please send me an email if you want to talk about anything related to philosophy or you want to talk about this class. Please don't hesitate to reach out. So I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an outline for the class and some of the rationale, some of the goals. So this course is about 6 weeks long, and we're going to cover 5 modules of material. And then you guys are going to have a final paper. So we're going to be moving pretty quickly. And so while keeping this in mind, I want to make sure that you guys are checking your email, checking Canvas regularly for any updates, any announcements related to the class, just because there's not going to be a lot of time. So some of the goals for this class, really broadly speaking, is to get you to think critically and to think also in sort of philosophical modes. And we'll talk more about sort of what that involves. But ideally, I want this class not to just sort of teach you certain concepts that you memorize, but to give you tools for navigating your own life and reflecting on things in your own life. The reason I was drawn to philosophy I didn't enter undergrad as a philosophy major, but I was drawn to it because it was asking the kind of questions that I was interested in. Questions like, what does it mean to live a good life? What does it mean to be a good person? What sort of things do I owe other people or owe myself? What does it mean to be just? And also things about how you think. So what does it mean to be a good thinker? What are the best ways to form accurate beliefs about the world? Or how can I avoid believing false things? What is the best ways to go about those problems? And also, I think it's a nice medium to reflect on your own values, what's important to you, what values you have, why do you value those things? Why are those things important to you? So I think that some of these questions, there's many more, but these are some central things that philosophy deals with, and I think helps people navigate their own life. And that's what I hope that this course can at least get you maybe thinking about things in those ways. So to the assignments, there's going to be 2 main types of assignments for this course. There's going to be short papers and discussion posts, and those are going to reoccur each module. So the short papers, the purpose is to just hone your analytical writing skills. So they are going to be expository papers, and that means that you are focused on clearly and concisely explaining the primary argument or arguments in a certain paper, and then maybe some of the critiques or objections that the author deals with. So these papers aren't so creative. This is a great place to work on your writing skill. This is a great place to really work on being clear and as concise as possible, like I said. But these are not sort of papers where you just give a personal reflection or you sort of espouse your own opinion or your own sort of reaction to a paper. They're really to test your understanding of the content and, more than that, your ability to present information clearly and concisely in about a 300 to 500 word paper, which is not that much space. So we're also going to have discussion posts, and the purpose of the discussion post is to hone your critical skills. And these posts are going to ask you to be a little bit more creative. They're going to ask you to offer your own critique of an argument we've read. So this might involve raising objections that the author fails to consider. It might involve pointing out flaws in the author's reasoning around a certain argument. And another sort of classical philosophical way of doing things like this is offering a counterexample that shows how some of their claims or some of their arguments can't make sense of this example. And so that's another thing that I encourage you to do. And in the discussion posts, I also want you to interact with your fellow students. And so there's going to be an interactive dimension of that where I ask you to respond to another student's posts, and this, you have the option to agree, but if you're going to do that, you have to offer more evidence why you agree or sort of expand on the point that they are making. And I also really encourage you to find a point of disagreement. because I think that can be really fruitful in terms of sort of getting a dialogue going. So please feel free to disagree with your fellow students as long as you do so respectfully. This might involve saying something like, hey, I see that you've made this objection to their argument, but actually if you think about the argument in this way, you can make sense. Your objection doesn't quite work, or they can sort of make sense of your objection and something like that. So think about what you want to do there, but I hope that it's a place where you all can start interacting with each other. Another purpose of these 2 reoccurring assignments is to prep you for the final paper, which is going to be worth a much larger portion of your grade. This paper will include both an expository portion, where you clearly summarize an argument, and a critical portion, where you offer a critique or rebuttal of the argument you selected. So it's going to be an argumentative paper. So I'm hoping that the feedback that you get on your shorter assignments will help you prepare for this. You're going to get much more details on this final paper later on in the course, so don't worry if this feels a little brief to you. Okay, so that is basically the short outline of the course structure, some of the goals, some of my rationale behind the assignments. And like I said, please reach out to me via email. That's going to be the best way to get in touch with me. And I think it can be really helpful to meet face-to-face, whether that is in person if you live in Arizona or over Zoom. I think it's a really great way to sort of get to know each other and also have fruitful discussions. So don't be shy about any kind of question related to the course. So finally, your first task in this class is to create an intro post. It's a really easy way to get some points. All I'm asking you to do is say a little bit about yourself, maybe what sort of drew you to an intro to philosophy class, what sort of motivated you there, maybe what you study overall, and maybe some general details about your life. Like if you want to throw in a picture of your dog, please feel free. Or if you want to say a little bit more about the kind of work that you do or that you're hoping to do, please feel free to give some details like that so we can get to know each other. But I'm really looking forward to reading those. I'm looking forward to the class. And like I said, please reach out whenever you need.